Good morning, friends. Today I'm wearing my By the Sea shawl and I'm pretending it's not gonna get up to like 30 degrees Celsius today because I'm a bit obsessed with hand-dyed yarns at the moment. I've been talking for a little while now about how I'm gonna make a blur shawl, and I thought that some of you guys might like to join in. So I have decided to run a crochet along. I have talked to Deanne, who designed the Blurre Shawl pattern, and yeah, I'm going to run a crochet along throughout the month of April. We'll actually be starting on the 30th of March, just so if you're super keen, you can be crocheting over the Easter long weekend if you celebrate Easter. So the Blurre is a beautiful crescent-shaped shawl designed by Deanne of Addydae Designs, and you can use 5 or 6 colours depending on what size you make to create a beautiful fade or gradient throughout the shawl. So it uses fingering weight or 4-ply yarn, and Deanne says it's an easy to intermediate skill level, but probably not for the novice. So on the Ravelry page for the pattern and on her website, she has written, "I wrote this pattern with the purpose of creating a relaxing, rhythmic and calming project, one where you don't have to concentrate deeply on the instructions or obsess about stitch counts. You can simply relax into the process and enjoy the colour play. This, to me, is precisely the kind of project that makes crochet my happy place when I need to unwind and find calm after a busy day. I hope this is what you find for yourself as you make your own blur." That just sounds lovely. So I'd love for you to join me in making your blur as well throughout the month of April. It's time of year heading into winter where I often lose motivation, especially if I don't have something simple I can work on. So I think this will be something lovely to keep motivation up, and I'd love you guys to be working alongside me and sharing all your photos as well. So I've created a Ravelry group. It's called Earl Crochet Community, which will be fun, and in that we have a chatter thread at the moment, so I'd love you to share all of your photos of all the yarn you're choosing out, or your different colors you're choosing, and any suggestions of places to buy yarn. If you have some lovely hand-dyed yarn shops near you and you'd like to share them with others as suggestions, that would be excellent. I will also be creating a finished objects thread in that, and we will, at the end of this crochet along, be doing a giveaway with some prizes. Deanne is going to be helping me out with some prizes, and she'll have some patterns, and we'll see what else we can come up with for you guys. We'll also have a hashtag, so hashtag blur along. I thought that would be fun. Last year, Deanne, when she released the pattern, did run a crochet along which used the hashtag Blurre Shawl, so I thought I'd mix it up a bit and we'd do hashtag blur along. So if you share your photos on Instagram, don't forget to use the hashtag blur along. So there are 2 sizes, as I mentioned before. There's a small size and a large size. The small size is 210 centimeters long and 40 centimeters deep, and the large size is 260 centimeters long and 50 centimeters deep. That's just approximate. It'll change a bit with your gauge or if you use slightly different yarns. Not every 4-ply is exactly the same. So the large one uses 6 colors and the small one uses 5, and with each of those there are 2 options. So you can use the stripe option, which the stripes get wider with each color, or the one where the stripes get narrower with each color, and which one you choose kind of will depend on the amount of yarn that you have of each color. I'm going to be using the one that gets wider with each color because the first 2 options I can use mini skeins for, because the first option, the first color in that option you can use 10 grams, and the second color in that option you use 20 grams, and so I can use 2 of my mini skeins that I bought from Beck at Saltwater Yarns. The second option, where the stripes get narrower, you use a more even amount of yarn slightly, so it's between 30 grams and 75 grams for each color. So the pattern is $6 US on Ravelry, and if you're in Australia there's actually a pretty decent exchange rate at the moment, so I bought it just this morning for $7.80 Australian. So that's pretty good. I've paid much more than that for $6 US items. So I think this will be perfect for anyone who, like me, has got a little bit obsessed with hand-dyed yarns and has been collecting them and needs something to use them for, or if you are looking for an excuse to buy some hand-dyed yarns, it would be excellent. So my shawl is going to be all Australian merino hand-dyed yarns. I think it would be really lovely if you guys could use locally sourced yarns or yarns from independent dyers who are local to you. But if you're not able to afford fancy hand-dyed yarns, go ahead and choose any beautiful 4-play or fingering weight yarn that you like. The reason I'm announcing this now is so that you have time to collect some yarn before April. So you can choose whatever beautiful gradient you like, either go through your stash, or you'll have some time to order some online if that's what you want to do, or head out to shops and do a bit of research into the colours or the yarn that you want to use. I thought to give you a bit of inspiration, I'll show you some of the colours I'm using. So this was actually the first hand-dyed yarn I ever bought. It was hand-dyed by Beck, who lives over in Perth, and she goes by Handmade Beck on Instagram, or Saltwater Yarns is her yarn shop on the internet. So a few months ago, Beck shared some of her mini skeins she'd dyed recently on Instagram, and I ordered a pack of each, the pink and the blue greens. And so I'm going to be using a couple of the blue greens in my shawl for the first 2 colours. So these two. So these are from Saltwater Yarns, and they are 80% Australian Merino and 20% cashmere. And they're very soft and they smell lovely. The next yarn I ordered, this is not necessarily the order I'm using them in, I've shown you guys before. It's from Circus Tonic Handmade, and it's based in Sydney, which is about an hour from where I live. It's 80% Australian superwash merino and 20% nylon. And so I've got a lovely purple and a little blue there. I love the tones of the colours that they sell. Not crazy bright, but not dull. They're just a beautiful kind of tone that I enjoy. And then I recently discovered, as I showed you guys last time, this beautiful from Mahogany Turtle, who's also Australian hand dyer. And these are 80% merino and 20% nylon as well. And so each of these is 50 grams, so it is still 100 grams. And they're a beautiful purple and green colour. So it's going to look something, if I can hold them all, something like this. And I like that there's tinges of green in this one as well as in these two to kind of bring it all together. So yeah, get yarn shopping or go through your stash and find some lovely colours you have. And make sure you head over to the Ravelry group and join the group and share your yarn photos in the chatter thread. I'd love to see you there. I can't wait till April. Bye!